Citizens, what's up? It's President Awall here, bringing you daily Star Wars Force Arena content. This one's going to be a little different than my normal video. I'm going to be talking about what I think Netmarble can do to make Star Wars Force Arena great again. I'll probably throw Donald Trump on the thumbnail. I felt like it was the best title for this video. This is going to be a bit of a rant, but it's coming from a place of love for this game and for this community. And for Netmarble, to be honest, I think they make great games. And I think that they're pushing the mobile gaming market forward and pushing the titles in the mobile gaming market towards AAA quality. And I think that this game reflects that more so than any of the other titles that they've ever released. This is a, MOBA Clash Royale hybrid that you can play on your freaking phone. And it leverages the most valuable, if not one of the top 5 most valuable IPs in the entire game, intellectual properties, Star Wars. And given that they have MOBA elements, kind of tower defense elements, sort of this Clash Royale sort of tournament PvP elements in this game, and they've got the Star Wars IP behind it, this game has potential to go huge mass market. And I think that there are a number of things holding this game back from being able to accomplish that, and holding Netmarble's marketing and community efforts back from them being able to accomplish the goal of maybe having this be as big as a Clash Royale, maybe having this be one of the top 10 PvP games out there, maybe actually have relevant tournaments and be relevant in player versus player and competitive communities across all of gaming. I think this game has that potential, and I've got a number of suggestions in order for Netmarble to accomplish that goal, if that indeed is their goal. If you guys aren't already familiar, I'm going to go ahead and kind of pull up a separate window here, and this illustrates how this is a different video than my normal ones. But I think that this game, unfortunately, had a really, really strong launch. And this is Google Trends that I'm pulling up here on the screen. It had a really, really strong launch, and unfortunately it has a very, very weak post-launch. This is Star Wars Force Arena, and this is its traction on YouTube, and web has the exact same trajectory. Right now, this game has less interest today than it did at pre-release, before the game was even released, when it was just like a game that you could download as an APK. And that is a concerning thing for me, given that I make daily videos about this game. I want to grow this community. That's why I do daily strategy and tips videos and videos to help new players, is because I want this to grow, not to die. And right now, this game is not growing. And a lot of you guys have been talking about, at lower levels, how you run into tons of bots. That's something I hear you guys talk about all the time. Personally, at a Rhodium level, I'm at 3,900-ish right now. I run into the same 10 players in every game. Maybe 1 in 10 games I'll get a new person. That indicates to me that the player base is relatively small for this game right now, despite the fact that it has 1 million+ downloads. And this interest right here that you see on YouTube, and if you switch it over to web, also indicates that there's not that much interest in the game, which means that there's not much of an influx of new players happening right now, as opposed to what there was at launch. And there's a number of things that I think that Netmarble can do to kind of improve. And just to kind of give you guys an idea of Netmarble and what their company is like, they have investors from their strategic partners with Tencent, which is one of the largest media companies in the entire world. And they have a market cap, which basically means what they are worth, essentially. Well, I'm not going to go into exactly what market cap means, but $9 billion. And they've got 3,000 employees. And a lot of their success, of course, is that they're great at creating mobile games and web games. They're based out of South Korea, and last year there's an estimate that they're going to be making $1.1 billion in profit. So Netmarble has a lot of resources, and they're doing a good job as a company in generating profit, based on what I've read on the internet. So when they release a huge title like Star Wars Force Arena that has the potential to maybe have tournaments, maybe have on some level esports, or at least a really thriving YouTube and Twitch community, they need to have that really great community and marketing effort behind this game to grow the community, to retain the community, to listen to them, and to get them to help them build this game moving forward. That's what the Blizzard team did, for example, with Overwatch, and Overwatch is taking off, right? This game just launched and just dominated a new category, right? It is possible today to do that if you have the right community and marketing efforts. Right now for Star Wars Force Arena, unfortunately, what I'm seeing, at least in English market, which is where we are, right, fans of the channel, their marketing efforts are non-existent outside of launch. Their Twitter account has 143 followers. What? Like, where's the marketing effort, right? I assumed that they spent millions of dollars developing this game, maybe tens of millions of dollars developing this game. Where's the marketing on social media? And I think that just a little bit more of an investment, and they could have a big impact, for example, on Twitter platform. But maybe their strategy just isn't Twitter, right? Maybe Facebook is where they're focusing their efforts. Well, if you take a look at the Star Wars Force Arena Facebook page, it's got 3,000 likes, and it is essentially a promotional page for lordskunk.com. I don't know, maybe this is the wrong Facebook page. Let me know if you guys have found a different one. But I can't find an official Star Wars Force Arena Facebook page other than this one that has any traction. So their social media game is really weak. And I think that if they ended up hiring just a couple people, maybe 2 people, and giving them a relatively small budget, maybe a couple $1,000 a month, they could grow social media avenues for this game and help grow the community and communicate with the community and bring new eyeballs into this game to help increase interest over time. And I'm not seeing that happen. However, what they are doing is they're definitely focusing on their mobrium.com platform, and almost all of their posts out there are directing people to come here to this private forum. Now, I am an old school gamer. I love forums. I think forums are great. Unfortunately, forums are not that relevant anymore. They haven't been relevant in about 10 years on the internet. And some game developers have forums as one component where only their most hardcore of hardcore fans are for them to interact with them. And I think it can be useful for that. Unfortunately, forums are closed environments. And you might be able to read some feeds here from their community managers. And their community managers are communicating with the community here. They're releasing new information. They're doing what community managers normally do for games online. And they're doing a good job of it on the forums, in my opinion. However, this is a closed environment. This is not growing the player base. This is just communicating with the current hardcore player base. Therefore, these Mobrium forums aren't really doing that much to grow the title and to really get it out there. There's 14,000 people following these forums. That's pretty good. If they're looking to go mass market or big with this game, that's not very big. And I know that there was a big push for people to join on these forums, like an in-game incentive, I believe, and they did. 14,000 of them did, but that can't be the only community building and the only marketing effort that Netmarble is going to implement here if this game is going to continue to grow and this community is going to continue to grow, and you guys don't have to face up against bots or the same players over and over again. Or I've heard reports from folks that are in Kyber, they've got 10-minute queue times. This is a mobile game. You can't sit on your phone and just wait for it to queue for 10 minutes. There needs to be more players, right, in order to fix those issues. So it's actually affecting in-game issues, in-game player experience. And anyway, that's why I'm kind of commenting on this. So I think in a larger, if not just a small investment into social media from Netmarble would have a major impact in them being able to grow their presence and grow player base. So there's Reddit, of course, and Reddit generally grows when independent people hop in there. They create a subreddit, the moderators start rocking it, and the subreddit for this game's doing okay. It's got about 5,000 followers, but generally speaking, 5,000 followers on a sub is not that good. But I'd say out of all of the open community outlets out there for this game, this subreddit is the only one that is thriving. And from what I can see, the Twitter and Facebook pages are just basically dead. There's very little support there, but this community avenue that the community has created appears to be doing pretty well. And this is something that I really love seeing the community here. There's lots of posts on this sub about being relatively positive, providing critical feedback around the game. And I've seen the community team from Star Wars Force Arena hop in here and comment and do posts. However, this is relatively small, guys. This is only 5,000 subscribers. So there needs to be a much larger marketing effort around this game to drive new players to join this game and to join this community. So that's the marketing and community angle. But I also think that there's a number of things in-game that Netmarble can do to help push this title forward and to help really grow it. And I think that there are a couple things in this game that are sort of like game-breaking or like soul-crushing experiences that could be fixed. And I have a couple ideas of how to fix those. I'm not a game developer. You guys know that. I'm just a YouTuber. And I think that a huge thing that could be fixed is 1v1s and 2v2s and their role in this game. I think it's huge. I think the ladder, moving up in tiers in this game, I think it should be completely limited to 1v1s. The game is being balanced, to my knowledge, for 1v1s. 2v2s right now are just a complete wreck. You can't play Rebels in 2v2s, at least at mid-tier and high-tier. Rebels get absolutely destroyed. And I knew that these new cards that have come out, like Bantha, for example, for Rebel, are maybe trying to address that on the 2v2 side, but the bottom line is, if you are a new player joining this game, and you were trying to climb the ladder as Rebel, and like you were maining Rebel, and trading your cards so you could go Rebel, and you're like, let's play 2v2, and then you hop in there, and you lose 10 games in a row. Because Rebel is trash in comparison to Empire in 2v2s. That is a soul-crushing experience that probably, I would imagine, has driven away tens of thousands or more players. If you experienced only that and you're like, what, this game is crap. That is a terrible experience. And because 2v2s are a part of the ladder, it incentivizes players that want to climb the ladder to do 2v2s. Now, the easy fix, I say it's easy. I don't know how hard it would be, right? I'm not a developer, guys. But I think a great fix here would have 2v2s just be like a PvE sort of or fun mode for this game rather than a ladder mode. And this would allow you as a guild to do things together that don't break your game experience and allow you to do cool things that resemble raids and etc. So when you do team up 2v2s as a guild, team up 2v2s could be something really cool like an experience like an Empire mission, right? And you have a whole queue, this is just an idea, of missions related to 2v2s. And you put together a sick deck, and in this mission, maybe you're getting bum rushed by Rebel scum. And it's just a non-stop stream of Rebel troopers coming in wave after wave, and X-Wings coming in and bombing your base, and you just need to survive for 5 minutes or something. You can build a deck as Empire, you can team up with your buddies in your guild, and you team up and do that mission. And there's daily missions on how you can grind out those PvE scenarios, and maybe there's different difficulty levels. And 2v2s essentially becomes like just a team-up mode, where you can team up with your buddies and do these cool, fun missions, where just these preposterous scenarios happen, and you fight them, and it's fun as hell. That, I feel like, is an appropriate way for players to team up together to play this game. It also helps eliminate those lag issues that you get in 2v2. I have been unable to play a single game of 2v2, either on my Wi-Fi here or at work or on my 4G, where I didn't get significant lag, either on my tablet, my phone, or I've tried it on desktop too. It's just laggy. You've got 4 players connecting on 4 different types of devices from around the world, and it's just tough to get all 4 to have a reliable connection. I think Team Up and 2v2 should be completely revamped, should become essentially a PvE, a player versus environment mode, and that would be so fun. Think about if you're on the Rebel side, and maybe there was some sort of raid, and the raid involves Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader as bosses. They're deploying stormtroopers and AT-STs at you. They're charging down the lanes. They really buff up Vader and Palpatine. His lightning does tons of extra damage. You know, Darth Vader, his force, he has like an extra ability. You know, force choke, he's able to do extra stuff, right? And it's just this epic scenario where you're just playing against the computer and trying to beat the scenario. And you're able to get packs from it. And you're able to get real rewards from it that you can then take later to 1v1, right? You get cards and then you can take it to the ladder in 1v1. I think that would be great, and that would eliminate those balance issues which will continue to plague Netmarble in the future as they're trying to balance the game for 1v1 and 2v2 at the same time. Come on. It's just not going to work. StarCraft learned that the hard way, and they don't make that mistake anymore. Blizzard has definitely made sure that different modes, as different as a 1v1 and a 2v2, are not on the same ladder, right? Or, you know, in other games, 5v5s, 3v3s, different configurations are not on the same ladder. They are not the same. They should not be a part of the same laddering experience for PvP players. I think that that's something that is game-breaking right now. And that'll be one of the only in-game comments that I'm going to make. I think that there should be a PvE mode. This is a game that should go mass market. And that's my last point. If you want mass market, then you need a game that doesn't just have 1v1 and PvP only. It's too hardcore. It's too intense for a lot of players to only have a PvP mode. Especially in a game like this, where you have the potential for PvE to be so quickly implemented. Cool. And another piece of feedback is just shareability. And this ties into the community and marketing bit that I was talking about earlier. There is not a replay mode in this game. It is 2016. If you want your game to take off and to be shared on any level, a PvP game especially, and this is a MOBA game essentially, you have to have a replay mode. How are people supposed to share the game? There's no replay mode. How is a YouTube community supposed to thrive with no replay mode? How are you supposed to share plays on Reddit? There's no replay mode. How are you supposed to share on Twitter and Facebook? Those epic plays or those ridiculous moments or those glitches or the different things around culture in the game that allow you to show what was amazing. What, you have to have a tablet like I have, a $200 tablet with shadow play, or you have to connect up your device to a computer to record. That barrier to entry for recording in that scenario is just too great. Also, how are new players supposed to learn exactly what high-level players are doing? You know, obviously you can go look through and see what their deck is. Cool. Alright, I'm going to get inspired by this deck and I'm going to learn. Certainly they can subscribe to YouTube channels like mine, and I help describe what's happening in the game. I help talk about cards. But really the best way to learn, and Clash Royale did this extremely well, is to just watch the high-level players play. And a replay feature enables that to happen. I think replay feature is critical if this game is going to be anything real in the future. If it's not just going to continue to decline. And so I think, in my opinion, those two in-game items, removing the PvP and laddering element from 2v2 and implementing a replay feature, will instantaneously make this game mass market, and will make it marketable, and will make the game itself do marketing and community work for the Netmarble team. And anyway, that's just me on a soapbox, friends. That's coming from a place of me loving this game and wanting it to succeed. There are many, many, many other things I could say, I suppose, about how Netmarble could improve. And overall, the reason why I'm even here doing this rant is because Netmarble made a pretty damn good game that I'm so interested in it. I make a video about it every day, right? So let me know what you think in the comments below. And I want to thank everybody who's been sharing my videos on social media and on Reddit. Feel free to share this one too, if you agree with what I say or disagree for that matter. Anyway, I'm going to throw my avatar up on the screen on this one. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for my daily content. Check out a couple of them over here. I do guide videos, strategy tips videos, just to help you guys out and to help grow this community. Thanks for watching, friends. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.